So, you're tired of the anxiety, the anger, the fear of the unknown, and frustration with fools? Stoicism might be for you. I started my journey reading about the Stoics in 2021 when a certain viral epidemic was sweeping the planet, and I did not know how to digest everything that was happening around me in a healthy way. Now, what I learned reading these thinkers from 2,000 plus years ago is that we are not alone. Our problems were their problems. But I realized that I already knew many key themes of what Stoicism aims to teach about life because Stoicism and the work of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus surrounds us in the modern world. Turns out, I learned Stoicism before I knew what to call it thanks to
Control, you must bring control.
Star Wars. In this video, I'm going to narrow down Stoic philosophy to 4 key ideas and show you where you've probably heard this before in Star Wars, the world's most important modern myth. Hopefully, it gives you a strong foundation for reading some essential Stoic texts, and this video will draw only on Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, the Gregory Hayes translation. Number 1, change is good, and nature is change.
I don't want things to change.
You can't stop the change, any more than you can stop the suns from setting.
Our bodies, change, death, decay, these are facts of life. Today, when people think of Stoicism, they primarily think of a philosophy that is about control and focusing your energy where you can make the most impact. And that's true. We'll definitely come back to that. But I think the beating heart of Stoicism is actually its stubborn commitment to reality and being at peace with the way that the world is, which is our bodies, change in it, death in the world, and decay. Marcus Aurelius in Meditations says, "I walk through what is natural until the time comes to sink down and rest." It's one of at least 24 mentions in this famous book about embracing nature, and what is more natural to life than change and death? I hope I'm not the only one who was paying attention to this when I was 12 or 13 years old watching Star Wars The Phantom Menace for the first time. We all knew that Anakin was going to become Darth Vader, and the last thing his mother says to him before sending him away from home to train as a Jedi is this core truth: you can't stop the change. If you want to try and stop the sun from setting, be my guest, but you'll probably go insane or be destroyed trying. That's the point. Again, from Marcus Aurelius, frightened of change? What can exist without it? What is closer to nature's heart? It's like Shmi Skywalker said this exact same thing. You see, the sooner you embrace the fact that the world is in constant flux, the sooner you'll let go
Of everything you fear to lose.
Which brings me to the topic of death. Number 2, death is part of life. That's the ultimate change. Dust to dust. People we love leaving our lives and leaving us behind. But what would they want for you? To cry endlessly and never leave home again? No. This is the hardest task of all time, and when the day comes that I'm tested, I am certain that I am going to fail. But Meditations asks us to remember that human life is momentary. Our bodies are dying from the moment that we're born. Marcus wrote in his journal, "Above all, accept death in a cheerful spirit, as nothing but the dissolution of elements of each living thing that it was composed of." This is an easy one. Where did you hear this in Star Wars?
Death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Mourn them do not. Miss them do not.
Okay, I get it. It's easier said than done, but we do have to try. I'm sorry, I am being told, do or do not, there is no try. That terror of letting go is the heart of so many Greek tragedies and the saddest stories of all time. Deals with the devil to save a loved one, traveling to hell and back again for romance only to be disappointed. And the message is simple, and it's always the same. Don't do it. If you can accept life as fleeting, you're going to unlock a power to live it to the fullest every single day. You will not miss a single moment doing the things that you love with the people who you love and that matter most to you. If life was infinite, if no one ever left us, pretty soon nothing and no one would matter at all. Death reminds us that we are more than flesh and blood. We are something more divine. And that brings us to number 3, luminous beings.
Luminous beings, so we not this crude matter.
Another Yoda masterpiece quote from Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, reminding Luke Skywalker that our bodies are so much more than flesh and blood. The Force, God, the Logos, whatever you call it that is bigger than you and me, it surrounds us and binds us and penetrates us and stitches the world together. Now, the Stoics were largely pagan deists who believed in either the Greek and Roman gods, or they ascribed events in life to the universe and this thing that runs through it and every human being, the Logos. There is a personal Logos, which is our reason and our choice, and there's a universal Logos, this sort of logic of the universe. It's the thing that Marcus Aurelius would say motivates a honeybee to pollinate and act as part of a hive. It's just nature, or design, evolution, or purpose. But what it is not is random. In the Stoic mind, things happen for a reason. Understanding this cosmic energy is the entire mission of a Jedi in Star Wars. Marcus Aurelius writes in Book 2 of Meditations, "Despise your flesh, a mess of blood, pieces of bone, a woven tangle of nerves, veins, arteries." Okay, it's kind of graphic, but he's describing what Yoda said in short. Crude matter. What we are is not the flesh. We're luminous, we're spiritual beings and connected to everyone and everything around us, whether we want to admit it and see it or not. When I came across this passage in Meditations, I immediately thought of Yoda, because we learn these key Stoic concepts before we even know what to call them. That's the genius of George Lucas and Star Wars. Number 4, the best vacations are free. How many times have you reached the end of your rope and splurged on a vacation or getaway to recharge your mental battery? I know I have, many times. But one of my favorite passages in Meditations is where Marcus talks about this very thing. He says, people try to get away from it all, to the country, to the beach, to the mountains. You wish that you could too, but you can get away anytime that you like by going within. Just because you shell out $4,000 to hit the beach in Portugal doesn't mean that your problems aren't going to follow you there. If you don't know how to leave your stress and connectivity and anger and fear behind you,
your thoughts dwell on your mother.
It'll still be there with you under the beach umbrella. He is arguing for meditation, mindfulness, and compartmentalizing things better. My favorite Jedi is Qui-Gon Jinn, and he lives this out in Episode 1 in his Duel of the Fates with Darth Maul. He and Maul are separated by an energy field, and with a little less than a minute to spare, Qui-Gon retreats within. Where Sith are fueled by anger and aggression, the Jedi achieves tranquility and a flow state by quieting their mind, letting the Force take the wheel of their body and their spirit. Marcus continues in Book 4, Chapter 1 of Meditations, by going within, nowhere you can go is more peaceful. Even a quick visit should be enough to ward off trouble and send you back ready to face what awaits you. Qui-Gon springs back into battle, ready to face what awaits him, which is Darth Maul. He doesn't win, but it might have been his best chance. And either way, at least Qui-Gon got to experience some stillness and quiet before he died, instead of panic and fear. Nobody wants that. Hey, thanks for watching Geeky Stoics. I'm Steven, and this channel is all about finding philosophy in pop culture that you can use in your everyday life. Go over to geekystoics.com and join the free newsletter, be part of the community, and of course, like this video on your way out and subscribe to the channel for more Stoicism, Star Wars, and much more. May the Force be with you.
Hello there. Ready to face what awaits with... I can't read the freaking... May the Force be with you. Thanks for watching Geeky Stoics. I'm Steven.
Oh, give me the puppy. Oh, thank you. It's my #1 subscriber. Subscribe, and you get to pet the dog.